this is Flurry Moon. Welcome back to my channel. The year is 2010. You decide to log on to Club Penguin for the first time in a couple of years as you slowly stopped playing as much after Disney bought the site back in 2007. After entering your igloo to see all your puffles ran away due to neglect, you head over to the pet shop in hopes you'll stick around long enough to actually take care of this one properly. Upon entering though, your attention barely catches the puffles in the corner of the room, but the tens of yellow penguins in pajamas and tiaras holding teddy bears filling the entire room begging for a moo or dada to pick them and take them home. How long have I been gone? You ask, but it's too late now. The pet shop had been overrun by penguins role-playing as babies and other players enabling this by attempting to adopt them and play house back at their igloo. It was weird and maybe even a little creepy in some ways, but you just had to be there. This is the history, dramas, the rise, and the fall of Pookies. And you can trust me to give some accurate info because unfortunately I was a Pookie back in the day. Okay, get it over with now. Judge me all you want, but you'll never understand what it was like, okay? But before we get into it, I am almost at 15K subscribers and you guys are the best. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. I love you, yay! Just to give a tiny bit of background, Club Penguin first went live on October 24th, 2005, and by March 2006, the site had already acquired 1.4 million players. You play as a penguin that you can customize with paint, clothing, hair, and accessories, design your home or igloo with funky furniture to express yourself, play mini games for coins, and most importantly, communicate with other players online. This could be in the form of playing a quick mini game like sled racing or card jitsu, or going to each other's igloo for inspiration, or just to hang out. And by hang out, I mean just like sit on beanbags and look at the TV with penguins on it. But arguably one of the more fun things to do on Club Penguin, in my opinion, was roleplay. My favorite was playing high school, where someone would decorate their igloo with all like the desks, lockers, chalkboards, and everyone would join and just play pretend, as kids do. Sometimes I would play the girl next door who would sigh at her locker longingly for a high school boyfriend, run late to class and drop all my books because I'm just the quirky main character. Other times I would throw on the blonde pigtails and the cheerleader outfit with the sunglasses and be like the popular mean girl. Anyway, a new form of Club Penguin roleplay was on the rise, and that was playing as a Pookie, or originally named Babies or Bye-Byes. I don't know. Listen, there's gonna be a lot of disgusting baby talk in this video, okay, but I can't ignore it. This consisted of typically changing your penguin color to yellow because it's baby color, wearing light colors like baby pink and blue, while usually recycling the same pieces of clothing. We will get deeper into the attire later, but you mostly saw Pookies in tiaras, scarves, earmuffs, and holding plushies. How would Pookies interact with others? Unfortunately, you may ask. Well, Pookies essentially lived in the pet shop waiting to be adopted, and speaking all baby-like, this is especially weird looking back, because why were penguins being sold in the pet shop? Like, something's not clicking. Spookies? Well, yeah, kind of. Pookies spent their time sitting at the bottom of the pet shop trying to act cute by saying words wrong, such as adopt moi and poise for a mama or dada. I'm going to be saying a lot of things out loud that I never thought I would say out loud. I hope you guys won't think any less of me after this, but I'm sure you will. Anyway, as mentioned earlier, the moo-moos or dadas or mamas or dadas, I don't really know, were other penguins role-playing as the parents who would walk into the pet shop and like choose a Pookie to take home and adopt. And this would typically end with the new family all living together at one of their igloos and kind of just playing house, you know? And this got boring pretty fast, at least for me personally. I think like the thrill was getting picked or like fighting with other Pookies in the pet shop. But there were ways players would make this interesting, which we will get to later. But first, how did all of this start? What is the history of Pookies? Initially referred to as babies or bye-byes. There is no solid time frame for when these penguins started popping up, at least not online. The Club Penguin Pookie wiki, which does exist, pinpoints this epidemic to start around 2008 and growing more in popularity after the Long John's pajamas clothing item was added to the catalog for the holiday party in that same year. This was actually earlier than I was expecting. I started playing as a Pookie in like 2012 or something. I did play Club Penguin a little bit back in like the early days, like when I was really young, and I don't remember anything like that happening, but obviously that doesn't mean it wasn't happening. Supposedly, before players started dressing and acting like babies, they were dressing like pets. So puppies, kitties, bunnies, you name it. I guess it does make a little bit more sense for penguins to dress and act like pets in the pet shop. So I don't know why I was shocked that that came first. So the story is when players started getting bored of acting like dogs, they switched over to acting like babies. But when? I wanted to get as close to the beginning of Pookies as possible. The Club Penguin Pookie Wiki's timeline starts in 2008, stating that there are rumors of players role-playing as baby penguins even in 2007 and earlier, but we're not too sure. So starting with 2008, I searched on YouTube for anything with Pookie or baby in the title. I found a couple videos including babies from late 2008, which corroborates with what the wiki says. However, I realized I wasn't going to find much searching for Pookies specifically, as we didn't even start referring to them as Pookies until like after 2010. I focused on finding Club Penguin videos that simply took place in or around the pet shop in hopes of catching an early sighting of one of these little weirdos. This method worked in my favor when I found a video from July 2008 very clearly showing the babies in their element. Pookies were clearly quite established here, already saying their iconic catchphrases such as reaches little arms up, wants a moi moi badly, my personal favorite, gets thrown out of a car, and the most cursed one here, chews on feet cutely. Honorable mention for, and I will transform into supersonic. I hope he's doing well. Anyway, this led me to believe that it goes much further back than we thought. Which brings us to the first ever YouTube video featuring Pookies on Club Penguin, at least that I could find, entitled My Club Penguin Video, Extremely Funny. This video was posted on September 1st, 2007. This is proof that the rumors stated on the wiki were true, and who knows how much further back it actually goes. This clip gives us a peek of the early days of Pookies, as many of them are not colored yellow, which later becomes a staple in Club Penguin baby fashion. However, we once again see typical Pookie language even in such an old video, such as Pues for a nice mwami. I can't even read this. Pues for a nice mwami. Do babies talk like that? What's with all the W's? And even speaking out their actions, like Pues with Elmo. I personally couldn't find proof of Pookies before 2007, but of course that doesn't mean they didn't exist before that. And the pet shop wasn't even added to the game until March of 2006, so it couldn't have been that much earlier. The first YouTube video including the actual term Pookie was in the description of this hilariously titled video on November 10th, 2010. This tracks as all earlier uploads refer to Pookies as babies. Anyway, Pookies would be seen fairly consistently throughout the years up until 2017 when Club Penguin was shut down. As you may know, there have been many different private servers over the years trying to bring back any form of Club Penguin they can, and there has been all kinds of drama with those. I am currently playing Club Penguin Journey, which actually inspired me to make this video because I've just been having so much fun and the memories have been flooding back. But I myself haven't seen many Pookies on Journey. Maybe this is because most people playing Club Penguin nowadays are adults who have no desire to act like a child, although some adults like to do that. Do whatever you want. I'm not shaming, just keep the kids out of it. Those who didn't play as Pookies typically ignored them or even thought they were cute, while others hated them with a passion and would even host anti-Pookie raids and protests. But that's its own section, which we will get to later. As a kid, this was a harmless and fun way to play pretend. There is nothing, in my opinion, wrong with that. What is weird looking back is, just like I said, we as kids innocently playing house and acting like babies and small children could have been playing with just about anyone in the world, aka weird adults with weird intentions. I do fear that's just the internet as a whole though, and not something specific to Club Penguin, but it is something to think about. Many people who played as Pookies look back and cringe, which I could say for sure since I was one of them. But before we fall down that rabbit hole, let's discuss all the different types of Pookies, because there's actually more than I remember, and this actually unlocked a ton of memories for me. I got most of these off the Club Penguin Pookie wiki, and you guys, going through that site, I laughed out loud so many times. The way they explain things like this is like a serious cause is just hilarious to me. So let's just get into it. I'm not kidding. There is a scale in place to differentiate Pookie personality types. The scale begins with nice/citizen Pookies, regular, naughty, divas, mean, evil, lying divas or melds, drama llamas, and domino divas. What am I doing with my life? Most of these terms, from what I can remember, weren't used actively on the site, except for divas. I remember peeing? I remember people calling each other divas, like when they were acting like mean Pookies and stuff, but for the most part, this is just for us to differentiate. The basic Pookies and citizen Pookies are very similar. Yellow, holding plushie, wearing pajamas, pink tutu, boa, scarf, speaks the Pookie slang, stuff like that. The only trait setting these two apart that I can think of is exactly how nice these Pookies are. Citizen or nice Pookies are considered the best Pookies. So I can imagine they will go out of their way to help you get adopted, or maybe even make you their sibling. Naughty Pookies typically aren't necessarily evil, but they will cause trouble. Naughty Pookies will do various things such as pull pranks, pretend to be hurt, or drive the family car. Okay? The Club Penguin Pookie Wiki provides an insanely long list of all the trouble naughty Pookies will cause, which I think is hilarious, so I'm putting that here. Divas. These players are very picky of who adopts them, and will even turn you down if you're not wearing rare items, or if you don't look good enough for them. They will not want you to adopt them if you are not a member, because this means you're not rich. They'll even insult you or other Pookies. But there's more. A subsection of divas are melds. This stands for mean, evil, lying divas. These, my friends, are the wolves in sheep's clothing. They will act like little angels when the parents are watching, but when they aren't, they are little devils who will try to frame you for being bad to get you in trouble. They were also the OG gaslighters, throwing a fit and threatening to run away if blamed for doing something bad. There's even a section on the wiki on how to protect yourself, which is another example of how dramatic this wiki is. Like, what do you mean? Drama llamas are pretty much the same thing as divas. I think the only thing that majorly differentiates them from divas is the fact that they cause more drama and will turn others against each other. Domino divas, aka the most dangerous form of Pookie, will initially act like regular Pookies, and when adopted, will start begging for other siblings. The parent will comply and go adopt other siblings, and then the domino diva will try to convert all the siblings into being divas so that they're all misbehaving and acting like little evil children. If the parent tries to call them out in any way, the domino diva will leave with all the siblings, go to the pet shop, and start talking you in front of all the other Pookies and all the other Moo-Moos and Dadas, okay? So then you have a worse chance of adopting another Pookie in this server, because now your reputation is fucked. So watch out. Honorable mentions: the Pookie with a secret that would come out upon getting adopted. This was usually that they were half mermaid or vampire, something along those lines. These are considered magical Pookies. The homeless Pookies will sit outside the pet shop and act depressed, often coming up with tragic backstories, and emo Pookies would act similarly. Yes, I was a Pookie once upon a time, okay? It was like 2012, so I was a little bit late to the trend, but don't get it twisted. Pookies were very much still poppin' in 2012. From what I can remember, I was a pretty basic Pookie, as I am a pretty basic bitch, so that tracks. However, I have always been a YouTuber. No matter where I am in life, I always make a YouTube channel for something. And so not only did I have to be cringe online, I had to document it. I did make a Club Penguin Pookie outfit ideas video that got 1,000 views, so I was kind of poppin'. And it's really boring. It's really boring. It's just me going over outfits I thought were cute and painfully slowly at that. I even got a comment saying I'm weird, which I am, so. I also tried to start a series about two Pookies who escaped the pet shop that only lasted 2 episodes, but my favorite line is, "has flashback." It also seems like I tried to hire another player to be one of the main characters, so I didn't have to keep switching outfits to play them both. But this person clearly wasn't right for the part since they just sat there refusing to say their lines. Okay, just a few things I forgot to mention, because there's always something I forget. There was a bit of gender discrimination in the Pookie community. A lot of mamas and dadas or whatever preferred girl Pookies over boy Pookies. I think it was just because like the clothes were cuter. Like I really do think that was it. Also, pets were a much bigger part of the Pookie community than I gave it credit for. There were definitely a lot of uppies, which are puppies. And as for Pookies, the whole scale, that goes for pets too. So mean, evil, lying divas, there were mean, evil, lying diva uppies. They had their own personalities too. Like they wouldn't just sit there and freaking bark. They could have secrets and be scheming too. So what did role-playing as a Pookie really entail? You get adopted, sit around acting like a baby, and then usually leave when you get bored, or make some grand exit like, "you don't love me anymore," when in reality you were just like, over it. Over time, players began getting bored of this, so to spice things up, we got Pookie contests. Pookie contests were my back in the day, okay? Basically, what would happen, a regular penguin would walk into the pet shop and type out something like, "Pookie contest at my Iggy." All the Pookies in the server would go to this person's igloo, where a series of themes were thrown out and the Pookies would dress to impress, basically. The winner of the contest would be adopted, although the actual contest was my favorite part, and if I ever won, I would usually just stick around for like a couple of minutes and then just leave, go to a different contest. Also, I forgot to mention, during this Pookie contest part, the way they would eliminate you when your outfit wasn't as slay as it could have been, because this would take place in their igloo, whoever is setting up the contest, they would go into their igloo editing thing and take away the seat you were sitting in. How iconic is that? The way I would be shitting my pants, like just like hoping that the beanbag I was sitting on doesn't go away. However, the drama that ensued over these events were something else. One of the biggest issues that arose was drama over the rare category. To explain this, I need to give just a bit of Club Penguin lore if that's okay with you guys. As I mentioned earlier, Club Penguin was released in 2005 and was bought by Disney in 2007. Not long after this, the game began to slowly lose its original charm, over the years redesigning the penguins, puffles, and clothing with more of a polished, corporate, well-designed but lost everything that made it special kind of look. The earlier art style had more sharp and harsh lines and almost a little messy in some ways, which people really loved. Other aspects began changing as well, like the intense Disney promotion at every turn, the parties that would last way too long, and players began longing for the original, quaint, and simple Club Penguin that we had all come to know and love. So back to the clothes. Club Penguin rarely ever brought back some of its original pieces of clothing, as they were constantly designing new clothes for the catalogs that would come out monthly. So walking around wearing all of these rare items was kind of a huge flex. As a Pookie, this was no different, and you definitely had a better chance of even getting adopted if you were wearing some rare items. This actually made you a rare Pookie. Anyway, back to Pookie contests. Typically, one of the themes would be rare or rare items. As someone who only started playing religiously in 2012 to 2013, this theme would always make me crash the fuck out. I didn't have any rare items. Usually a fight would break out, as there was always that one person who would be like, "this isn't fair." I was just so salty that I didn't have any of those items that I wanted so bad. Speaking of, side note, I wanted the be-fluttered blonde hair so bad, because like, I don't know, for some reason as a kid everything needed to be blonde. I was blonde as a kid. This is fake, this is real, and I wanted this hair so bad. Do you know how badly I wanted this hair? I would wake up every day on the 1st of the month, because that's when they would update the catalog, and I would wake up extra early for school, like an hour early, so I can go and search through the catalog and look through all the secret items, you know, like when you would like hover over certain parts of the catalog and you would find like a secret item. I was always doing that in hopes that I would find the blonde hair, and spoiler alert, I never did. The amount of drama that this seemingly harmless hobby caused was actually insane, and I can confirm all of this is no exaggeration. But it wasn't just drama within the Pookie groups themselves, which brings us to the trolls and haters. When people see other players dressing, acting, and talking like toddlers, there are going to be people who bully them. As always, this usually falls into two separate groups, although they can be one and the same. That is the trolls and the haters. Players trolling Pookies typically don't mean too much harm, and they might not even hate Pookies. They're just funny to mess with. So trolls would like run up to a Pookie in the pet shop and be like, abuses. And this would just like get the Pookies upset, or they'd start crying, which is even funnier. Other players would go a step further and act as a parent looking to adopt a Pookie and then would take it back to their igloo and abuse them there, or just laugh in their face. Some would even join Pookie contests to troll them there. Many players would record themselves trolling Pookies and posting them on YouTube, so that probably contributes to the rising trend of making fun of Pookies. My personal favorite title, How to Abuse a Pookie on Club Penguin. Then there were the Pookie haters, okay? And there are many different reasons why people hated Pookies. Well, I keep doing this as if I'm like choking a Pookie. One, to get the most obvious reason out of the way, players thought it was creepy, or that Pookie roleplayers were doing this for weird reasons. To this day, many current and former Club Penguin members feel this way, but this Reddit comment pretty much sums up how I feel about it. It's creepy and weird that children play house. Pretend play is quite literally one of the most normal things on planet Earth. There was nothing weird about children emulating what they see their families do, lol. However, I am not sitting here and saying it wasn't weird, because it was. I don't think it was inappropriate the way people are trying to say. The weird part is that anyone could have been playing with us. So obviously, if there is a full-grown adult on Club Penguin pretending to be babies or pretending to adopt babies who are real-life children, that's weird. But I cannot deny the levels of cringe that were Pookies, okay? There's no denying that here. Why were we doing that? Other players hated Pookies not just because they were weird and cringe, but because they felt like they were taking away from the original concept of the pet shop, the Puffles. Remember those? You walk into the pet shop innocently looking for a bed for your Puffle, and you look at the bottom of the room to see penguins holding lollipops saying, "Wah, pick me." That probably got old fast, okay? I'd like to also believe Pookies were a sign that Club Penguin was changing, and there was nothing anyone could do about that. The Pookie haters would typically protest in the pet shop directly where the Pookies live. These players would say things like, "No more Pookies," and "They're ruining Club Penguin." Here are some of my favorite comments from past and present Pookie haters. I hated those. I remember joining an anti-Pookie squadron and serving on it for like 2 years. On a video featuring Pookies in the Blizzard server, WTF, Blizzard was my favorite server, and now look at this. I'm doing a Club Penguin Pookies Must Die war at the server Blizzard because that's where most Pookies are these days at exactly 2 a.m. at Saturday, April 28th at the pet shop. Come on, we can join forces together. We can all stop Pookies. I might be a little late, like 10 years late, but I'll be there. I asked Club Penguin to remove Pookies, but they say Pookies are penguins too. Let them do whatever they want. Get on a lower circle server for no Pookies. But it doesn't stop there. It seems there was actually beef between the Club Penguin wiki and the Club Penguin Pookie wiki. This post on the Pookie wiki reads, "We must act now. Hey guys, I've returned. Who here is absolutely sick of the Club Penguin wiki non-stop bullying us? No matter how many times we've tried to get some sense into their skulls about why it's wrong to other people, they never listen and continue to keep it up. I've made many attempts to do this. Yes, they have their rights to their opinions, but this has gone way too far with the bullying. I say that we form a strike against the Club Penguin wiki. It seems like it's going too far, but think about it. How many times have those people made blog posts, forum posts, user boxes, and everything else to put us down in the meanest of ways? And got away with it by the admins. We need to act now. If you'd like to join, sign your name on the bottom of the forum post. We must save the Pookies." They even made like an edit. I think it's like "save the Pookies" or something. But if this is true, it does make me a little sad that these people were being bullied. Obviously the internet, like, people are horrible on the internet, but it's really, like, it's not that deep. It's just yellow penguins going goo goo gaga, okay? However, most of the drama was pretty harmless, and it was even funnier when the Pookies would fight back and you would just walk into a sea of yellow defending themselves. But with all that negativity, there were some Pookie defenders. Many players would stick up for Pookies as they didn't see any harm in what they were doing or thought they were cute. Others probably just wanted to play into the idea that they were defending these little babies who couldn't fight for themselves. There was even a penguin Pookie army, or the PPA, a small community who protected baby penguins, which is hilarious and honestly kind of adorable. However, according to the Club Penguin Army wiki, the PPA didn't last long, as the PhD, or Pookie Hater Defense, quote, did a good job to destroy the Pookie protest program. What am I reading right now? The Club Penguin Army rabbit hole is something else and a whole other video topic, honestly. Okay, I also want to say before this ends, sorry, it got so dark. I've been editing for so long. As I mentioned earlier, I've been playing Club Penguin Journey a ton, and I got a little idea. I just wanted to see what would happen if I dressed like a Pookie. I was really embarrassed because I didn't want anyone to think I was, like, trying to be creepy or anything. I just, like, wanted to see what would happen, or if anyone would even notice or care. I made my penguin yellow and I put on, like, a scarf or whatever. I don't really have that many items, and immediately someone clocked my shit. Immediately they go, "Are you a Pookie?" And I didn't know what to say because I was so embarrassed. I was just like, maybe. Wait, what'd they say? They go, "Fit go hard," or like, "My fit goes hard," or something. And I was like, OMG. So me and this, like, random penguin talked for like 10 minutes just about, like, random stuff, like how we're reliving our childhoods, and it was just so chill. I highly recommend it, especially if you played back in the day. I'm sure there would be people who would be mean about my Pookie outfit, but luckily I ran into some slay penguins. So I just wanted to say that, and I also have footage of that, and yeah, that's about it. Anyway, today the Pookie population is pretty scarce, but who knows? Maybe they'll make a comeback. The question is, should they? Anyway, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun doing this, and the memories that I got flooding back doing this research was something else. So if you guys want any more Club Penguin videos, if you guys want to know about any other random niche Club Penguin dramas or lore, please comment below exactly what you'd like. I'd love to talk about Club Penguin even more. Also, I'm playing Club Penguin Journey right now. My username is Flurry Moon, so if you guys want to friend me, that would be pretty slay. Come see my Iggy, party at my Iggy tonight. Thank you guys in advance for 15,000 subscribers. I have no idea what to do with this information. I can't believe so many people watch these really dumb videos that I make. Yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye!